beautiful.
Pretty much how I remember it, except for the tent.
There's plenty of room. We can set up over here.
Hi, I'm Sammy Murrian and I write about film and television for Parade magazine. Killing Ground is written and directed by Damien Power. This is a horror thriller out of Australia. This stars Ian Meadows and Harriet Dyer as a young, newly engaged couple who go camping in a secluded area of the Australian wilderness. And then, well, I'm not going to tell you what happens and then, because one of the many strengths of this film is its plot and its unpredictability. I knew nothing about this movie going into it. I went into this movie completely blind. I had heard that it was well received at the Sundance Film Festival. It got some very good reviews. Horror is my genre. I don't want to spoil anything about this movie. I've edited in a couple of clips from the trailer of this movie that I don't think really give anything away. I think I wanted to show you kind of the tone of this movie, the feel of this movie. I don't think that they really spoil too much, but I really don't want to spoil anything about this movie for you if you decide to see it, because this movie follows an unconventional plot structure. This does not follow a traditional linear narrative, and that catches you off guard and throws you for a loop, just as the movie's beginning. You're not really sure what's going on. Okay, first things first, I just want to get this out of the way. This is an extremely well-made horror film. Period. This is the feature debut of writer-director Damien Power, and it's been very well received. He's already been signed to one of the major Hollywood talent agencies based on the strength of this film. I am very anxious to see what he does next after this. Also, I'm not going to recommend this movie to everybody. This is not a movie that I would say, oh, everybody, you gotta go see it. No. I would say that about Wonder Woman. I would not say that about Killing Ground. This is a horror movie. This is a horrific horror movie. This is a relentless, merciless, brutal horror film. This movie reminded me of Last House on the Left. This movie reminded me a little bit of Straw Dogs. Reminded me a little bit of another Australian movie from a few years back called Wolf Creek. I did not care for Wolf Creek nearly as much as I liked Killing Ground. I watched a screener of this movie for work. I went into it completely blind. The only things that I knew about this movie were that it was very well received at the Sundance Film Festival. I had read that it got some very good reviews at the Sundance Film Festival and everybody was talking about this director. And I read that it was a horror movie. I love horror movies. Horror is my favorite genre. So when the opportunity came to, cover this movie for work, I went, yeah, sure. I watched a screener of this movie late at night, and, it goes into some territory that I usually have a lot of trouble watching. Usually will force me to turn off a film. In fact, as I was watching this movie, I was, for a while I was thinking, I don't think I can do this tonight. I think I might have to turn this off. But the fact is, I could not turn this movie off. I couldn't turn away after, the first 15, 20 minutes or so. I was just hooked. This movie goes into, subject matter and, the kind of violence that I don't think is entertainment. It's not entertainment. It's not entertaining. It's not fun to watch. But the filmmaking craft here is just really freaking good. The thin story of this movie really owes a great debt to a classic short story called The Most Dangerous Game, which was made into a classic horror film in 1931, I think. This is technically a story, a setup that we have seen several times, hundreds of times in film and elsewhere. People are lost in the woods, someone is after them, whatever. But the screenplay of Killing Ground is quite clever, and this movie subverts cliches and expectations like nobody's business. I was genuinely surprised and genuinely shocked at several points throughout this movie. I watch movies for a living. That's what I do for my job, is I watch movies. I see so many movies. I see so many horror movies because I love horror. Killing Ground shocked me and pushed my limits. I recently reviewed Annabelle Creation on my channel because I saw a very advanced screening of that a couple weeks ago. My experience of watching Annabelle Creation definitely suffered from the fact that I had seen Killing Ground like 2 nights before. Killing Ground really genuinely scared me. It made me uncomfortable. I found it very suspenseful, lots of tension. There were things that I liked about Annabelle Creation, but at the end of the day, it's just really, really goofy and silly. By comparison to the absolutely brutal and relentless Killing Ground, Annabelle Creation just looks like Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. It's just goofy.
You gotta make the most of your opportunities.
So I will tell you one more time, Killing Ground is the hard stuff. This is the hard stuff. This is brutal horror that is not for everybody. If that sounds like something that you think you can handle, something that you think you want to pursue, I say definitely see this movie. Killing Ground will be released in theaters and on demand on July 21st. I highly recommend that if you're going to see this movie, you try to see it in a theater, because one of the many technical accomplishments of this film is really great use of super widescreen photography. If I have a gripe about this movie, I think the ending is a little bit abrupt. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's like unsatisfying or a letdown. It's a bit abrupt, though. So with the disclaimer that I don't think this movie is for everyone, I'm going to give Killing Ground an 8.5. I was pretty much just blown away by the quality of the filmmaking here, by the writing, by the directing, by the editing, all of it. Even, all of the performances in this movie are terrific. Thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning into my channel. I appreciate your support so very much. Please follow my writing on Parade. It is parade.com/member/Samuel Murrian. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, all that stuff. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Take care of yourselves, and be well, everybody. Bye!